Hello everyone, this is English Language Pickle Virtual School. There, it's Madam Nanyimbi Gloria taking you through English language, specifically Senior 1. Okay, there we have English Senior 1, Week 5, and for Week 5, we are majorly going to have grammar there. Okay, our activity of the day is read and write. Topic: the use of since and for. The use of since and for. So we are starting with for, and there we are saying the preposition for is used to talk about an amount of time or space. The preposition, not proposition, the preposition for is used to talk about an amount of time or space. An amount of time or space. Okay. The amount of time is usually not exact or clearly stated. The amount of time is usually not exact or clearly stated. For majorly looks at duration or could mean duration taken for a particular aspect. Okay, duration taken while carrying out a particular aspect. Our examples include for the weekend, for ages, for a long time. That is what I've been telling you, duration. Okay, time being taken to do something. Okay, so there we are saying for can be used when talking about the present, past, or the future, as in the examples below. We are saying for can be used when talking about the present, past, or the future, as in the examples below. As in the examples below. Okay, there we have our examples. Number 1 is saying, last year I traveled for 3 weeks. That is in the past tense. I traveled for 3 weeks. Number 2, I am traveling for 3 weeks. Duration, the time this person is going to take. Okay, so duration majorly looks at for we look at the time taken to do something. I am traveling for 3 weeks. That is in the present continuous. I am traveling for 3 weeks. Number 3, next year I will travel for 3 weeks. Next year I will travel for 3 weeks. Okay, that is the duration. The time someone is going to travel is 3 weeks, and we are saying it can be used when talking about the present, past, or the future. Okay, those 3 are what we use when we are looking at the use of for. It is used with the past tense, the present continuous, and then the future tense. That was for. Okay, so for we realize that majorly it looks at the duration of something. I went to school for 3 years. Okay, I traveled to Kampala for 2 hours, 2 days. Duration, time taken to do something. That is when you are using for. Then since we are saying since is used. Since is used to refer to a particular point in time or event in the past. It is used to refer to a particular point in time or event in the past. Or event in the past. Okay. Since is normally used in the present perfect and past perfect tense. Since is normally used in the present perfect and past perfect tense. Present perfect and past perfect tense. Note that it is never used to talk about the future because it refers to a specific point in the past. We are looking at something that happened in the past, and most probably it is still taking place. Okay? It is used to refer to a particular point in time or event in the past. To refer to a particular point in time or event in the past. Okay? Yeah, so let us look at the different examples we have. Okay, there we have a few examples. It has been raining since 8 o'clock in the morning. It has been raining since 8 o'clock in the morning. Okay, meaning most probably right now it is 11 o'clock, but since 8 it has been raining and it is still raining up to 11. Okay, a particular point in time in the past. Okay, I have been walking since 10 p.m. Most probably, as the person is speaking, it is 1 in the afternoon, or it is a time after 10 p.m. Okay, he had been waiting since morning when the doctor came in. Most probably the doctor came very late when this person came so early and kept waiting for this doctor. So since majorly is used, okay, since is majorly used to refer to a particular point, that a particular point in time that happened in the past, something that happened in the past, but most probably is still taking place. He had been waiting since morning when the doctor came in. I have been walking since 10 p.m. Most probably it's 11 p.m. when this person is saying this. Okay, so since refers to a particular point in the past. Okay, so now I think people can realize the difference between for and since. When do we use for? When do we use since? Okay, and there we are saying for majorly focuses on the duration of something. He has been traveling for 3 weeks now. Okay, I will be going to another country for 2 years. Okay, time that will be taken. While since looks at or refers to a particular point in time. For majorly focuses on duration of a particular activity to be done, while since refers to a particular point in time or event in the past. Okay, so there we've got those examples both for since and then for, like you realize. Now we are going to attempt an exercise in line with the use of for and since. We are going to attempt an exercise in line with the use of for and since to check if you have understood the concept. To check if you have understood the concept. Okay, the task is saying complete the following sentences correctly using either for or since. Complete the following sentences correctly using either for or since. Using either for or since. Now for that exercise, you will have to go to the PECO question booklet. That is where you're going to find the exercise for week 5. Still under week 5, there is a certain task for that is task 2. It requires you to read a passage in line with using the media to find information. Don't forget, the topic we are looking at is finding information. Finding information. Okay, so our second task is majorly a passage, which has a lot to do with using the media to find information. For example, you need information about a particular topic. How do you think the media can help you? That is what that passage is about. And obviously with passages, you read it, understand it, then you answer particular questions that are given as far as the passage is concerned. As far as the passage is concerned. So that is in task 2, which you are still going to find in the PECO question booklet for week 5. Thank you very much. Let us proceed to week 6. Let us proceed to week 6. Okay. Don't forget, we are still focusing on our topic, finding information. We are looking at the different ways on how to find information, the different sources, where you go. Could it be people that we should use to get information, or that in our topic? Okay, so here we are going to conduct a survey. That is in week 6. It looks at conducting a survey. It looks at conducting a survey. Do you know what a survey is? Why do you think it is important to carry out a survey? Why do you think it is important to carry out a survey? Okay, so there we are going to see some information, okay, on what a survey is. I don't know if people understand what we mean by a survey. Okay, if people understand what we mean by a survey. So our first 2 questions are, do you know what a survey is? Why do you think it is important to carry out a survey? And here we are saying a survey is a method of gathering information from individuals. We carry out surveys when we want to gather information from the public other than from other sources such as reference materials. We say a survey is a method of gathering information from individuals. Here you are interacting with people. Maybe you're talking about a particular topic. It could be COVID-19. Maybe you need to know what kind of experience a person goes through when they get COVID-19. Obviously, you will have to get a survivor, and they tell you their experience, how it started, how they battled with the disease, and how they were able to get through the whole process. Okay, so you're gathering information from individuals. Before, we looked at gathering information from internet, from reference books, magazines, but now you are interacting with an individual to give you facts, okay? And here we are saying a survey is a method of gathering information from individuals, like I have just mentioned. And we are also saying we carry out surveys when we want to gather information from the public. We carry out surveys when we want to gather information from the public other than from other sources such as reference materials. We carry out surveys when we want to gather information from the public other than from other sources such as reference materials. Now we are using people, okay, and not things like internet, media to get information. Okay, that is what is referred to as a survey. You get information from people and not internet, not books, not a magazine. Okay, so why do you think a survey could be carried out? Why do you think it is important to carry out a survey? Okay, some of the reasons we have are to get real answers. I'm talking about facts. To get real answers or facts from the people and not from what somebody else has written or reported. To get real answers from the people and not from what somebody else has written or reported. You are getting information straight from the horse's mouth, like facts, okay, from what someone maybe has experienced, what they've seen, or what they went through. Then we also gather information, or we carry out a survey from people to get people to talk and discuss about an issue. They give us their opinions, okay? You get information, you bring up a topic, you need to hear people's views. What do they think? What is their experience about a particular aspect? They discuss and give you alternatives and opinions as far as a particular topic is concerned. That's why we say to get people to talk and discuss about an issue. Okay, we are still looking at why it is important. Okay, why it is important to carry out a survey. Why it is important to carry out a survey. So now we are also saying to get real or even undated information or facts. To get real or even undated information. Undated means you are getting it from the horse's mouth. Like, you don't have to say, as far as the newspaper of 1998, it says that this happened on such and such a day. No, here someone is telling you, this is what happened. I was there when this particular boy was maybe killed, was beaten, was taken to the prison. You are talking with a witness, getting facts, okay? Or what we mean by getting information from the horse's mouth, okay? We also need to carry out a survey to compare information such as that in other sources and that from the people themselves. To compare information such as that in other sources and that from the people themselves. You could be having information about a particular topic, okay, but when you get into contact with a person, say, who was around when a particular scenario or event was taking place, you may get surprised, or you may be surprised. They could have more information to back what you already have, or they could say information that shows that maybe what you have is either true or false, because you will say, according to the information I have, this is what I was told, and then this person who was there will tell you, no, as far as I remember, this is what happened. That's why we are saying we also carry out a survey to compare information that we have and the one coming from the people themselves. It could be a crime that took place and you need to get information, okay? What you have may be information that was written down or you read somewhere, but how about you talk to the people who were there when a particular aspect was happening, okay? So there we've looked at why it is important to carry out a survey, okay? So we are saying you are going to be in school for some time, and some of you are going to be professionals in many fields. You are going to be in school for some time, and some of you are going to be professionals in many fields. Today it is important that in whatever you do, you carry out research so as to get the real facts, not to have hearsay, sheer fallacy, like you heard from someone. How about you dig deep in this to get the facts yourself, to get the information yourself, okay? So here we are saying today it is important that in whatever you do, you carry out research so as to get the real facts, okay? Carrying out a survey is one way of getting information from people. Carrying out a survey is one way of getting information from people. You get facts, okay? You don't get distorted information. It is coming straight from the horse's mouth, okay? It is coming straight from the horse's mouth, okay? So there we are going to have a simple task in line with what we have just talked about, in line with what we have just talked about. That is what a survey is, why it is important to carry out a survey. Still, the task we are going to look at, please go to the PECO question booklet. That is where you're going to find that task. I think it is one interesting task and you'll be looking forward to look at this task, okay? Task 2 still is in the PECO question booklet, but we can go through together. We can go through together. But don't forget, for task 1, please go to the PECO question booklet. You will have the other information there, and it is going to be one interesting bit. Okay, so now task 2. Now that you know what a survey is, you are going to look at how to conduct a survey. First, we got to know what a survey is, why it is important to carry out a survey. So now we are going to look at how to conduct a survey. And here we are saying, read the information below and discuss with your partner. With your partner, I mean, it could be your brother, your friend, your sister, your parents too can take part. Okay, as you're looking at what it takes to carry out a survey. What it takes to carry out a survey. You could sit with your brother, your sister, okay, your friend. Maybe they are older or in the same class as you are, and then you see what we are going to see. So now we are looking at how to conduct a survey. First, we have the planning bit. How do you plan when you're going to carry out a survey? Success of a survey. Before you sit down to write your survey, there are a few steps you should follow. Before you sit down to write your survey, there are a few steps you should follow. Ask yourself why the first thing. Ask yourself why. The first thing you should always do before writing a survey is to figure out why you are using this method to gather information for your task. Why do you think right now you are going to need a survey and not the internet, not newspapers, not a dictionary, not even the white paper? Okay? Why do you think you're going to use a survey and not anything else, say like the internet? That is something you should ask yourself. Okay? The reason why, given what you're going to look at. You should know the people you are going to use in your survey. To have a manageable task, you should decide on who you will be asking to fill it out. Okay? If you are a lawyer, for example, and you are getting information on a particular crime, which people are going to use? Those that were involved, the victims, the culprits, the suspects. Which people are you going to need to carry out this survey? So we are saying, not the people you are going to use in your survey. And we are saying, to have a manageable task, you should decide on who you will be asking to fill it out. I've given you an example. If you are a lawyer, for example, and you are investigating a particular crime, whom are you going to ask? The witnesses, the culprits, okay, the victims. Who exactly are you going to ask? Okay, we are looking at the people. How many people you will need. First, we looked at why exactly are you using the survey method and not any other method? What kind of people are you going to use? Now we are looking at how many people you will need. How many people do you need to get information? Do you need to look at a whole village? Do you need a few people? Once you have known who you are asking, like we've seen in our previous example, make sure you have enough of them, enough people. How many witnesses do I need for this particular crime if I am going to get to the end of this crime? That is, if you are a lawyer, you are a policeman. Okay? How many people were involved? How many people are victims? How many people will I need to get enough information? So here we are saying how many people you will need is also another important aspect. So that's why we are saying once you have known who you are asking, make sure you have enough of them. The number of people, also known as the sample size, needs to be big enough so as to give you views from different people. The number of people, also known as the sample size, very important, needs to be big enough so as to give you views from different people. Meaning, as far as the number of people is concerned, it must be quite a number so as to get enough information. So as to get enough information. Okay, so there we are saying choose the right time. Number one, we said the reason as to why you are carrying out the task is one important aspect. Which people are you going to use? There must be a particular group of people that you want. 3, how many people are you going to need? We've seen you need quite a number to get enough information. It is also important to look at the right time. Choose the right time. And here we are saying the right time for the survey is important, since the wrong time can give you results that are not really correct. The right time for the survey is important, since the wrong time can give you results that are not really correct. For example, if you wanted to carry out a survey in a school, going there at the beginning of the term or during examinations or during lunchtime may not be wise. Okay, we are being given an example of choosing the right time to carry out a survey. We can also look at this particular time. This time we are having the COVID period. If, for example, you are a lawyer and you are investigating about a particular crime, this period has not been the best. Number one, movement was restricted. You cannot move from one place to another very easily. What if curfew gets you there before you get to the person? And people are not willing to talk to others because they prefer to be in their houses. They don't want to be exposed to COVID-19. So choosing the right time is also very important. But the good thing, we've been given an example here. If you're going to carry out a survey in a school, going there at the beginning of the term or during examinations or during lunchtime may not be wise, because you may not get enough information. At the beginning of the term has just started, so there isn't enough information. During lunchtime, everyone is busy, say with the lunch break, so they will not give you attention. Okay, so you must choose the right time to carry out a survey. Okay, so another example would be, for example, if you wanted to get information from a country like China, is this the right time? When you look at the period, it is a coronavirus period. Who would want to get out of their country just to get information, say, about what is happening in China right now? It is not the right time because of the corona pandemic. Okay, Okay, so there we are looking at the ways of conducting a survey. There are many ways of conducting a survey. Remember, I've said the survey involves um, speaking to individuals. There is contact with individuals. There is contact with individuals. And how do people normally carry out the surveys? Through telephones. You speak to a person. Now, especially during these times when we are facing the COVID era, the telephone is one of the best options so that you don't get into contact with this particular person. Sending mail, online surveys, very good. Online, very many of you have now got exposed to Zoom, Google Classes, Google Talk. Okay, you talk to people using different online websites and all that. Okay, so I've given you an example. Zoom, you talk to someone and they give you information and you don't meet them in person. Personal in-home surveys. Okay, personal in-home, you go to someone's place and you talk to them. Can you tell us what happened on such and such a day? Currently there is a certain story of a young man who was killed, and the local leaders are being suspected, okay, of taking part in the death of this young man who was a suspected robber, something of a sort. Okay, but now they are getting to people's homes, talking to people who were there. I think the boy is called Museveni something. He's a young gentleman, but he died. He's 21 years, but they are getting information from people that is on the news. Yesterday, Zagatari came for the same thing happened. That is on 4th. There was information about that young gentleman, and we see a certain witness telling us exactly what happened, of how he called the police to come and intercede, and the police said they have to wait, they just can't come running. Okay, that is personal in-home survey, getting information from people who witnessed what happened. Personal mall or street intercept survey. This you've seen even during the news. They interview people on the streets. What is your view with the lockdown? How has the quarantine treated you? What kind of experience? What have you learned from this COVID period? They talk to different people. It is taking us back to the reasons why we carry out a survey, to discuss ideas with people. People give you their views, their understanding, what they think, what their experience is like, so you are able to gather information from people. Okay, so there we have the different ways of conducting a survey: telephone, mail, online, Zoom. Okay, Zoom, people have been using that very much. Personal in-home surveys, going to where maybe people stay, where someone is, and you talk to them in personal mall or street intercept survey. You get to a street and talk to people about a particular view. They give you their views, their opinions about a particular aspect. Okay, that is also something we realize there, and the ways of